Good day, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I am your host, the voice of reason. In today's episode, I wanted to have a discussion about the end of Western civilization. What does that look like? How does that end? Could that end with a super volcano detonating off the coast of Africa, La Palma, in the Canary Islands, Spain, creating a super tsunami that then eradicates most of the east coast of the United States and major cities in Spain, Portugal, Africa, anywhere there is a city that happens to be near the Atlantic Ocean, essentially, in the South Atlantic. Now, what brings this up? I had the opportunity to watch a movie on Netflix called La Palma. Again, it is essentially about an earthquake eruption in the Canary Islands that creates a super tsunami that obliterates many cities and coastlines around the world. Now, as I was watching this, it dawned on me, it was not the supervolcano that was ending Western civilization. It was not that. And if you have the chance to watch this movie, it's a Norwegian film, you will soon understand. And I think the message is essentially hidden in the film. And you have to look at the main cast of the film, this Norwegian family. This family spells the end of Western civilization. Now, why do I say that? Well, again, please, if you get a chance, watch the movie, but focus on the family. This completely dysfunctional family that, in all likelihood, will end all of their lines, meaning they will not reproduce. The family ends with this group of 4 people. Essentially, the mother is married to this guy here, who I believe, from what I've gathered during the movie, is actually the stepfather of the 2 kids. But the kids know him as the father because they have been married so long. Now, obviously, there is a fracture in the relationship between the mother and the father. Now, this is where neoliberalism is fully injected into this movie. Then you have the daughter. The daughter. She is anywhere from 16 to maybe 18 years old. Portrayed in the film. It's difficult to ascertain her true age. It's never really talked about. But her visit to the island with her parents is essentially the onset of her believing that she is a lesbian. And she has a lesbian relationship, a homosexual relationship with another female on the island of La Palma in the Canary Islands. So again, the dysfunction. As we look at this family now, the daughter, in probability, the way the movie was evolving, will become a lesbian and will never have children. Next, the son. The son is a autistic child that walks around grabbing his ears, perpetually humming. perpetually humming. So again, you have the mother, the father who do not like each other, who have grown apart as the mother runs around chasing young Spanish men. The father has let himself go. The daughter is becoming a lesbian, homosexual in accordance with neoliberal traditions. And the son is just a lost cause. Again, walking around the movie, grabbing his ears and humming perpetually. It is not the volcano that is the threat to Western civilization. It's this family. This family will become non-productive. In all likelihood, again, the portrayal of the family would indicate that eventually the mother and father will separate. Who's to say what happens next? The daughter will continue with her lesbian relationship, and the son, again, will probably become a ward of the state at some point. Again, non-productive. Walks around, grabbing his ears, humming. So check out the movie and watch the dynamics of this family. Incredibly interesting to see that the real threat was not the volcano. The real threat is what the average family, in terms of its portrayal by neoliberal leftists in Hollywood or wherever the hell they make Norwegian films at. This is their idea of the future. Complete dysfunction. And any concept of this family expanding. And what do I mean by that? Well, if we were to go back to the 1950s, the 1960s, the 1970s, and this were a Hollywood production, well, the whole concept would have changed. The family, the mother and father would have actually loved each other. The daughter and the son would go on to eventually marry and have children and further their line, meaning the mother and the father would become grandchildren, would have grandchildren. But that's not the case. That's not the case with this movie. It all ends. It's done. It's over with. There is no advancing. There's no appropriation of the species. It ends. It's gone. And that is the thought process. End the patriarchy. End the nuclear family. And it's being portrayed in this movie. And that's okay. That is what they want to have happen. Very interesting to see the dynamics and this hidden message that is in this neoliberal film. And then, again, the whole premise is a volcano erupting and destroying much of humanity, or the humanity that lives on the coasts of Europe and the eastern portions of the United States. Well, obviously, a volcano is not part of the climate change message. In this movie, they find a way to inject climate change and love for the environment into this film, as if humans here, humans not here, human factories present, not present. It's not going to change volcanism. That is going to always be omnipresent on the planet. But they find a way to inject climate change and their neoliberal ideology into this film. And again, this nuclear family, this family, essentially ends. No children, no grandchildren. But if you get a chance, watch it. Pay attention to the family. Pay attention to the neutered stepfather and the domineering, flirtatious mother. The lesbian teenage child that finds herself through a lesbian relationship. And then, of course, the poor son who walks around grabbing his ears, perpetually humming. He probably got a bad vaccine or something like that. Who knows? But that's where we're heading. That is where we are heading. As always, thanks for joining us. More to come very soon. Good day.